That's intelligence. Okay. Something must challenge your strength, your powers, your talents, and your intent. Something must challenge your intent. If you intend to make the varsity team, something is going to challenge your intent. If you intend to play a clarinet or trumpet, or something is going to challenge it. See? Intent is a synonym for will. Your higher self wants to know if the lower self is willing to do. How much confidence do you have? Because it takes confidence to succeed, to win, to aspire, to achieve. If you got this much, you can't get there on that much. So something comes to measure your level of confidence in yourself, not in God. Everybody, yes, I believe in God, I believe. Okay. Brother, do you believe in yourself? Well, I'm all right, I'm all right. Oh, shit. And put him on the bench. Give me the brother with the double zeros on his jersey. You know, one was bragging about how good his hook shot is. It takes confidence to succeed. Challenge makes confidence happen. Challenge makes confidence happen. If you fall in a hole, don't stay down there hollering, help me, somebody. No, climb out the damn hole. Have enough confidence in yourself to get up and get busy. Challenges provide avenues to test your level of confidence, your will to succeed. Without it, you ain't going nowhere. You're going to become a pawn in someone else's chess game. Okay. Uranus, the awakener, the spiritual vibration, not only that awakens our consciousness towards spirituality, but also towards inventive, creative progress. Inventive, creative progress. This is the planet of success and achievement, Uranus. One idea can make you a millionaire. How many ideas have you had over the past 10 years, let's say? Or what idea have you had over the past 10 years that you see in somebody else's window that you thought of yourself? That's the energy of Uranus. Putting it not to you, but putting it into the mental pool. Whoever gets it first can have it. See? A great success factor occurred certainly during the 17th century, 18th century in this country, towards the creative genius of the black man who got the idea first and acted on it, got it blueprinted, structured, and somebody came and stole it from them. That's what you discover in black inventors in America. Much of what is now the success factor of American industrial culture came out of the minds of your ancestors. Right here in this country, not in Africa, not in Spain, in France, in Germany, right here, as well as in Spain, France, and Germany. That's Uranus, the genius of our thinking, the creative, inventive impulse, the vision of, the future of, is the energy of Uranus. Space-age flight, cosmic this and cosmic that, extraterrestrial energy, all that under the vibration of Uranus. Friendship, 11th house, Uranian friendship. Compatibility, getting on with people, helping people, the will, the desire to help people is Uranian. This energy will make you give your last to help someone. That's Uranus. The universal brother, The universality of brotherhood on the planet is where we're being moved towards as we keep hearing the discussion of and the dwindling of white racism in America. And it's on its way out. You know, as alive as it seems, the tool is no longer of use to those who invented it. It is no longer of use to those who invented it. Genius and insanity is also Uranus, that thin hairline where the head steps over, and he's either crazy as hell or he's a genius. You ever heard it say, he's either a fool or he's really brilliant. That's Uranus. Yeah. The benevolence of brotherhood, or the ravishing insanity of a Jack the Ripper. You know, that's when the aspect is bad, when it's either retrograde or afflicted. Same energy, different behaviors, extremes. Okay. Neptune, inspiration. Now, I mentioned the idea of awakener because we're at the base lip of the coming age of Aquarius. We're not in Aquarius. I'll get to that in a minute. We're not in Aquarius. We're at the base lip of, like standing here and me throwing water across the street and some splashed on your pant leg and feet. That's about as much Uranus as we got. You know, we're not in the center of this cycle where consciousness is raised up and people know. You know, we're still in the cycle, last cycle of Pisces, the age of Pisces, where people still believe, they still talk about what they believe. You know. It ain't too often brothers tell you about, brother, I want to let you know something. Brother, this is what I believe. I believe. Well, okay, man. You know, which he has a right to believe. But the question of now and the future is, do you know yourself? Which is an Aquarian slogan in the scriptures. Man, know thyself, and to thine own self be true. Very Aquarian. That's the Son of Man talking there. That's not Jesus. That's Aquarius, the Son of Man. Okay. The water pour, the pour of knowledge. This is the water bearer pouring knowledge. Neptune, a spiritual planet, one of the latest of the two spiritual planets discovered, one that we only slightly respond to. We're beginning to respond to this mystical vibration that makes us spiritually curious, that will carry us safely into our psychic realms so that we can experience the unseen. That's Neptune. Prior to that time, a spiritual vision was a nightmare, or the child was just insane. Well, they're standing right over there, Mom. I can see them. They're standing right there. We're pointing at two angels, and can't nobody else but the child see them. The child's got to be sick. That's what was going on before Neptune was found, and the reasoning of the spiritual realms was being identified. Children who have the natural ability to see into the spirit realm, if they talked about it, were considered crazy, insane, or demonic possessed. That's how far human beings have come since 1930. That's when they found, I think it was Uranus, 1930, or was it Pluto? I'll check. This is the governor of Pisces, the sign of belief, 12th house. Secret knowledge is Pisces. This energy gives us insight to the invisible realms. Our sense of spirituality is enhanced by this psychic planetary energy. And all of us have psychic abilities. Do you know it? Do you trust it? Are you acting on it? Are you using it? Particularly if you ask your spirit for something so that you'll know, and then your spirit shows you, tells you, or guides you, and you ignore it, your stuff gets closed down. Over-aggressive anger shuts your chakras down. Violent anger creates poison that becomes adrenaline in your body and poisons your glandular systems. Therefore, your chakras that work through those glands shut down, and your stuff don't work. Okay, so good health, good thinking is highly relevant to where we're trying to get to and through in this age. I don't know why Farrakhan did not give the brothers at that thing some of the mental sciences. Jesus never had that kind of crowd. Garvey didn't. He's probably the first black man in the Western Hemisphere that had 1 million black folks listening to him at the same damn time, over 1 million. And he told them almost nothing. And he won't get that chance again. He ain't gonna get it no more. That's a once in a millennium, not a once in a lifetime. Shit, that ain't going, I don't know when that'll happen again, unless we go to crazy war. And if we don't get our head on right, the energy that's coming is going to either have us doing order or total disorder. That's the kind of energy that's coming, to put things in order, to make things happen. But when it affects you and you respond antithetical, opposite of that, then all chaos cuts loose. Like the brothers in St. Pete, you know. Brother got shot and they want to, yeah, what the hell is tearing up the store, burning the store doing for the brother that got shot? Not to point out the injustice of the thing being correct. We know it was unjust, but I'm talking about their reaction. It helped nothing. It solved nothing. It did no good. That's all reaction. You know, that's what dogs do. You know, they react. That's very low human behavior. Neptune gives you visions and dreams. Neptune allows you into the realms where you can walk and talk on the astral plane and meet spiritual beings on those planes. Neptune is responsible for the energy that carries you up to an astral school at night, where most of us go and can't remember when we come back down, except every now and then we remember, man, I dreamed I was talking to some, you know, I can't remember all of it. You know, then if you note that day that you have some answers, insights that you didn't have yesterday, then you know you've been somewhere. We all go somewhere, you know, depending on our level of awareness. So some of us go to hell at night, you know, little fools out there in the street. You know, they go somewhere. You know, so something come and get them. You know. And why they die so fast is because they have no ministering spirit on their right. They are targets for anybody that wants to take a pot shot at them. You know, they ain't got no guidance because they wouldn't listen. But when the angel, so-called, which is a being that's been down here and is assigned to you for the rest of your life, if you'll listen, moves away, anybody can have you. You know, and the angel of death, all he wants to do is cut your damn cord. That's his work. So he gonna try to get you in all kind of stuff. Go on in there. Yeah, boys. She in there. It's interesting, I mentioned this on another tape. When a dude gets stabbed in a bar or shot, the first thing he tried to do is make it to the front door. Isn't that interesting? I don't know if you've noted that. Because his angel is outside, up over the building. They can't come in there. And his soul is trying to get him back out there so his angel on the right can get back on his right. The energy is too low. Foul and vulgar and nasty, dirty, violent energies in most of them. Not all of them, you know, but many of them. You know. Those are the kind of minds that gravitate to dark places. You know, most bars, lights down low, because you can't think dirty in this kind of light. You know, you can't step in and think about the sister's booty. You know, it don't correlate with your brain circuits. You know, you know. So when you get in the dark, you go, oh, baby, I love you. So we want to try to get our consciousness up where we can see. Light, more light, Father. Give me more light, give me more light. Take the responsibility for the light. Then you can have it. By acknowledging it. Don't think just because you have one thought, I'd like to know more, and then going on doing what you've been doing and expect to become illumined tomorrow. It didn't happen like that. You focus your intent. Focus your intent. And your soul will complement your desire. Neptune. High inspiration. High inspiration to do what's right. High inspiration to be helpful. High inspiration to awaken. High inspiration for more spiritual experiences. It feeds your appetite to know. To know secrets. The brother and sister at Morehouse and Brown, they want to know too, but they want to know academia. They want to know A, B, C grade stuff. You know? They don't necessarily want to know what's behind why they wear the Octon tam at graduation with a tassel, or why it's called Morehouse. They don't want to know that. They just want the damn tam and the sheepskin so they can go get a good job. Of course, there's some of them now who have decided, wait a minute, shit, maybe I can set me up a company. You know? That's all it takes, is that kind of thought. And does the brother have enough confidence in himself? And he's off and running. It's happened many times. One young brother, two of them, from Cleveland State, graduated, went down to a bank with a little tie on and suit, sit down, got their appointment. Sir, my name is so-and-so and so-and-so, this is so-and-so and so. You're going to lend us $15,000 so that we can open up a copy machine, a copy store called Genesis. You're going to do that for us because we are successful. Looked him right in the eye. 3 days. 3 days he got it. He didn't ask him. He told him what it is, but he told him politely. But he knew something was working for him. That's how much confidence those two brothers had in themselves. A year later, they had 2 stores. 2 years later, they had 3 stores. You know? Confidence, nothing like it. It lets you into your vision of the future, Uranus, and lets you believe what you see, Neptune. It inspires you to get up and go do what you see. You see? There is too much paper money. There's more paper money than there is gold. So we know it's not about gold. And we know that paper money is a symbol of prosperity. The ability, the power to buy, to have what you want, what you so desire. If you understand that, then it depends on how much imaging you are able to do and hold in mind that will determine how much paper you will have and keep. Okay? Because if you can't keep it up here, you can't keep it in here. Yeah? That's the law of correspondence. As above, so below. Okay? It's the same thing with sex. If you can't see it here, you can't get it hard here. That's the law of correspondence. Okay? That's how the mind works in the body. That's how the invisible works through the visible. That's the way nature is. That's the real of astrology. The result of knowing this is consciousness. If you don't get greater consciousness, you ain't doing having fun. This doesn't help you grow to know thyself. Then you ain't doing having fun. The same thing the brothers spend 4 years. I think get the sheepskin to come out dumb as hell. You know? You know? Ain't doing have fun. Educare, draw out. Power, tremendous power. The energy of Neptune is power. It will make you, give you the mystical tap in so that you can know what people are about. That's Neptune. Pluto, transformer. The first level of transformation is death. That's Pluto's in charge of death. The best death is when you sit down, lay down, take a deep breath or 3 deep breaths, depending on your technique, and then die. That's the perfect death. That's Pir Vilayat Khan, Hazrat Inayat Khan, the Sufi master. Paramahansa Yogananda laid down, took a deep breath, and brought his eyes to his attention to his third eye, and went zooming out the crown chakra. That's a perfect death. You know, if you can leave the body and stay awake, you do not experience the second death. That's Pluto at its highest octave. That's mastership. That's the art of dying. We die daily. When you lose consciousness, you're dead. You know, I don't know if anybody can defend itself in his sleep. Shit, you're dead. When you wake up, you're reborn. Most of the time, we do leave the body, unless we have some kind of medical problems, some kind of physical illnesses, and the astral body needs to stay in the physical to regenerate. Then you don't leave the body. Women will have difficult. Young lady supposed to come here today. Had this spool of where things are going. She was just having all kinds of experiences, you know. And suddenly they stopped. You know, she wants to know why they stopped. Hell, I don't know. You know, she might have some kind of problem, physical problem. The astral body may need to repair something. She can't leave the body at that time. Or somebody may be after. You know, sometimes you have to stay in the body because you get to watch. You know, it'll be coming in your wall, man, of personalities who like to do that, take advantage of you while you're off guard. You know, all kind of spirits are out there, as said Paul, all kinds of spirits going in the world. So there are different reasons why you get to these pause phases. And sometimes you need to reevaluate what you are about. You come that far, you know, like you have what you call a quantum leap. Like one brother said, man, brother, I sit down and I close my eyes. And as soon as I closed my eyes, I went right into the spirit. Scared me to death. I opened my eyes. You know, I ain't been able to get in since. You know, scared. It's fear. Shut his chakras down. You know, all he had to do was just close his eyes and sit there. You know, he was that ready to unfold, but he didn't have enough information about where he was going, and what it was, or what was happening to him. You know. He just closed his eyes, like the sister did. Me and her husband sitting there talking about Yogananda and the autobiography of a yogi. She got up from the kitchen table and went and laid down to find out what we were talking about. Went right in, you know, and stayed in. You know, that's that quantum leap. You know, the contention, though, the books do not verify. We are ancient souls. This ain't new. Y'all done heard some of this before, otherwise you wouldn't be here. A lot of brothers can't get it in here because it didn't leave off here. The ones that you see at the spiritual, cultural conferences, those are old souls. They're still searching. They remembered they forgot to do something, so they're out there searching. The ones you say, well, man, come on over and go. Well, yeah, but he can't get there. You know, he can't get there. Okay, he might get lucky and get to church or the mosque. He might get lucky. Yeah. Well, if he's a young soul, he's lucky. You know, it's better to get some kind of spiritual input than none. You know, because when you go out blank, you go to blank, the dark. You know, particularly if you've been misbehaving down here. If you know, you can be a good person and live a good, decent, rational life and get to the fourth dimension in a safe zone. But if you down here acting a damn fool, mistreating people, you know, and leave here, quote, accidentally, unquote, oh boy, you know, you don't want to be there. You know, you don't want to be there. Or get stuck out there, like some brothers get stuck out there. You know, brothers come to this one brother in Cleveland, say, man, how do I get some food up here? You know, food up here. Up on the fourth plane with trees and no leaves. You know? He had no willpower, so he couldn't make substance out of the ethers up there. He didn't know how to do it, and had no power to do it. If you have it, all you do is will it. I want an apple, and an apple appears, you know, on the astral. Everything has an image. Everything has an image. Everything has a spirit. When you're on the spirit plane, you're at the essence of everything that exists on that plane. A little young girl that caught cancer was on one of the talk shows, and she said she goes up to heaven. She goes up to a fourth dimension where she can eat the cloud substance by simply saying that this is candy, this is cake, this is ice cream, and it tastes like what she says it is. Yeah. Will, the will to power, the will to success, the will to peace, the will to the will is what's missing in the black man who goes back to jail, back to jail, back to jail. He has no will, power to be free. And what is worse, he doesn't even know he doesn't have it. That's a Leo. We'll get to, well, when we get to the sign, we'll deal with that. The transformer, Pluto. The transformer, Jekyll to Hyde. Either way, the nice kid on the block who was quiet and didn't say nothing to nobody, 15 years later, he out mugging everybody he can find. The transformer, the wrong damn way. That transformation is a D formation. The transformation is upward. Boyhood, childhood, boyhood, manhood, godhood. That's transformation. That's Pluto. And out the body, transformation. Out the physical body into the astral. Out the astral body into the body of light. Out of the body of light into the essence of what you are, consciousness. That's transformation. That's Pluto. Retrograde, oh shit. Wars and rumors of wars, riots, so-called revolutions, vandalism. That's Pluto. Same energy, going the wrong way. The response is wrong. You know. They were saying that all an Arab had to do was stand around the corner or streets for 10 minutes. He could get 50 people that would follow him in a revolution in 5 minutes. They were so keyed into reacting and being led or misled. 90% of their population cannot read. This is 1996. Yeah.
Who is this now?
The Arabian. 90% of their population cannot read in 1996. And we got some brothers who want to follow the Arab. Damn. I'm following the Quran, brother. Yeah, right, man. Okay. That's pretty much covering the 9 planets plus the sun, the solar center of our solar system. The head of the first degree of the 360 degrees, 0 degrees actually, rather than the first degree. That's not a very good ram's head. The ram is the east gate of the zodiac, the beginning of all things recorded, represents I am, the consciousness that is independent of the collective. The collective says we, us, our, all. The individual says me, my, I am. That point, consciousness, is individuated. That represents the ram, the self, the personality. Remembering we are all 12 of these parts makes a whole. The sun placed in this particular 30 degrees of Aries specializes that personality in following the character pattern of Aries. The horns of the ram are indicated in this glyph to represent the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. This represents the spinal column and the spinal cord. This ancient Egyptian symbol or glyph is what your doctor wears on his lapel now. The caduceus or the cato. A pair of wings which represents the left and right hemisphere of the brain. The round ball on top of the stick represents the medulla oblongata, which is at the base of the brain on top of the spinal cord. That's your light bulb. Wrapped around that pole, which is both the vertebrae and the spinal cord implied, are the sympathetic nervous systems, because without them, without this set of cords running left and right, you wouldn't have a distinction between left and right. The difference between those that knew no evil and those who knew good and evil. This is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, duality, light and dark, soft and hard, left and right, up and down, big and small. That's where we are in consciousness. In the absolute, one is not contested by an opposing force. There's no duality in the absolute. But if you go up into the absolute conscious, you can distinguish between what this is, that is, those are, and those are not. We came out of the absolute unconscious of duality. We're going back to the absolute, hopefully conscious of duality. That's the difference between being awake and unawake, of being moved by forces around you or being the force that does the moving. Okay? This is a symbol of Aries the ram. I mentioned the cell salt here in case there would be an Aries here, but we all need potassium because that's the mineral that fires the brain cells. And if any of you, us have been smoking any ganji, some of your cells that went blink, blink out. It doesn't take but a little bit to turn them off. This is one way to regenerate your brain cells, because you don't get any. You got all brains. We got all the brain cells we're going to get. They ain't growing no more. We can regenerate the ones that are dull and dim and dead. The cell salt is what helps to regenerate the body. Each one of us has a particular cell salt that we use up more than any other. That's some of the information you get when I do your numerology chart. This one fires up the brain. The importance of the head is that it's the difference between us and the animal. The animal brain does not have these faculties in the brain. The optic thalamus that functions, the uraeus, or the serpent, particularly the cobra, does have a pineal gland but it doesn't function the same way ours does. In fact, it's larger than ours. The pituitary body, which is the round orifice that sits back in this area of the brain, lower than the pineal gland. It is the one that stimulates the pituitary so that the union takes place, the marriage of the pineal gland, penis, and pituitary, the two organs of the brain's wedding for illumination. You notice the pyramid geometry here in terms of the pineal gland is not up here. This is the point of focus where the electrical attention drawn here allows this spark to happen from this area here. If you see your pineal gland, you'll see it from between the eyebrows. It is a point of focus. There is a gland there on the front part of the brain, but it's not the pineal gland. This is just the point of focus. When you get your attention up here, all of your energy starts moving up. Below here, it just simply moves in its circular cycle as always. I think you already know where these, or heard about these verses that make reference to the third eye. Matthew 16:22, Luke 11:34, 36. If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be filled with light. The eye is the lamp of the body, which is in reference to the gland being a lamp, not the light. Okay? And if thine eye be single, focused, you draw your energies, your light, up the spinal cord to the brain, pulls back, and you see the light of your light body reflected in your brain. The light is already there. You already have the light. You need to focus your attention to draw it up by focusing your attention. We already talked about the energy of Mars, which is red. And I mention it again because at the point that you start to awaken, your dark substance starts vibrating at this red level, and sometimes you'll even be able to see it in your meditation, or you may see it around someone else's body. That's the first fire energy that moves us out and forward. Okay, any questions? How many of you all have meditated before? How about you? Okay. I'm just going to give a simple How many of you all have meditated before? How about you? Okay. I'm just going to give a simple approach to meditation, and as we go along, we'll get into some techniques. I think the first important thing about meditating is what's called the science of breathing, or the science of breath. In the breath is the prana, the energy that's inside the blood, inside the corpuscles, inside the cells. Prana, pure energy. You can see it vibrating like shimmering cellophane paper at times, particularly when you get dizzy. You see all them little spots flashing. That's prana. You can hear it if your room gets real quiet. You can hear it around your ears. That's prana. That's little energy balls conflicting around your head. Okay. By breathing, you begin to rhythmize your energy, synchronize your energy in a circular fashion. That's circular breathing. Through the nose, out the mouth. Then through the mouth, When you breathe through your mouth, that's when you're going to do something with the energy. When you're going to regenerate, you breathe through your nose. But if you're going to practice wazifa or practice chanting the om or the tao or hu, then you would breathe through your mouth to hold energy in. By placing a small point between your lips like the trumpet player does, what's called a pinhole, you refine the intake of your energy, your air, therefore your prana. You get a stream. In fact, the mystic says when you do that, actually what you pull in is a gold stream of light. You somewhat purify the energy by doing that. Now, if you want to feel the result of it, all you have to do is hold your breath and focus your attention at your heart chakra. And you'll feel the energy spread there. It'll get warmer. In fact, you ever get cold, that's where you warm. If you stand outside, hold your breath and focus your attention there, and your energy spreads there. This is a source of energy, the heart chakra, energy. The solar plexus, a source of energy, okay? The other technique is breathing nasally with left or right, luna or suna. Luna, cool air. Suna, hot air. Luna, moon. Suna, sun. Hot air, cool air. That's the two currents going up to the brain. Whatever you breathe through your nose, it affects your brain. It affects your thinking. That's why when something stinks, you frown. When something smells good, you're more pleasant. That's one of the reasons why you use incense, to change your mental mood. It changes your mood, okay? So if you're going to quiet down, light some incense. If you're going to meditate, light some incense. If you want to talk sweet words to your woman, light some incense. Don't have something funky in the kitchen, yeah, okay? Affect your own mental mood. That's the initiate in search of himself is doing. That's what chanting does for you. That's what prayer does. It changes your mind. You can't change the mind of the universe. You can change yours, though, and receive higher inspiration, higher energy, higher power and insight by changing your own attitude. Okay, we're going to do about 5 minutes of meditating, so put everything down. Okay, all right. Just so you'll have the brief experience with sound is what I use as an approach to meditation. Music, higher music, affects your chakras. It affects your glands. It affects your emotions, your moods. Affects your feeling nature. We are culturally addicted to music. We live with music. One of probably the most consistent intents of black folks to improve their state of mind is to put on some music. But most of it is fun stuff. And some of the brothers are so powerful. I heard Babyface singing. Wow. Brother, move your chakras with his voice. He's big spirit, big spirit. But most of it is about love and romance, not about be transformed, you know, which is the vibration that would come from that theme. I don't have a tape on. He went back in the back there, so we're just going to do this with a chime and the Tibetan bell. Okay, place your feet flat on the ground when you meditate. Of course, at home, take your shoes off and loosen your belt so that you're relaxed. It's the whole state of condition. If you turn your hands upward, you won't grip when you have an inner experience. If you turn your hand down and you have something going through your consciousness and you grab your leg, you take yourself out of your state of mind. So it's good to turn your hands up. If your spirit closes your finger, let it close your finger. Or if you want, you can hook it up to the symbol of Om if you want, or the symbol of Ayin, which is the third eye. You know. But the thing is, if you do that, you become conscious that you're doing it. And you don't want to be body conscious. So if you lay your hands calmly, then at a certain point you forget about your hands. Okay? I mean, it just kind of happens like that. Okay? Okay. Okay, let's do 3 intakes of breath like this. What you note is as soon as you breathe, your vertebrae straightens up. Where usually when we're sitting, we tend to slump. That curves the vertebrae. It forces your stomach down against, your ribs down against your stomach and your other organs. So this is the posture of meditation. If you breathe inward, you naturally correct it and you don't force yourself. In order for us to sit up, stand up, and move, we have to come into a state of tension. Okay? That automatically places us into a state of tenacity, aggressiveness. In meditation, you're trying to completely relax. The hardest thing for a human being to do is do absolutely nothing. That's the result, the intent of meditation, is to do nothing. Not see the light, not hear the light, do nothing. You know, really hard. Once you get into your brain and hear all the talk it's got to tell you about nothing, you know, okay? But the best place to start is, I find, is to start breathing, and it just automatically corrects your posture. Then your energies are running on a perpendicular line of natural flow. Because you're not only trying to get your energy up there, you're also trying to get your prana, your energy, your breath, your spermatosa, and your blood to go up, everything to go up. What you make down here, you use up here. The brain needs your spermatosa. We'll talk about that later. Okay. Close your eyes. Place your attention right between or slightly above your eyebrows. Don't force it. Just so you're comfortable. If you're uncomfortable, you're tense, which means you're not going to get any kind of an experience. So you relax and slightly raise your eyebrows, just slightly. Sound cleanses your chakras. It doesn't take a lot of it. It doesn't have to be the sound of a great ocean or a hurricane. A tuned-in sound affects the samskara on your chakras.